Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all well. So today is time for the thoughts and feelings video, how I thought a show went. As you can see from the title, today we're going to talk about Mean Girls, the musical, currently playing at the Savoy Theatre in London. So if you want to know what I thought of the show, my thoughts, my feelings and who I loved, etc., stick around and we'll get into it in 2 whole seconds. So here we are, time for this video. A little bit of a backstory to this. Why did I go American? Do not know. This show was one that when I heard it was coming over to the UK, I was like, I need to go and see it. I have truly enjoyed listening to the Broadway cast recording for quite a long time. Normally I don't listen to a show before it comes to the UK if I can help it. There is some exceptions such as Beetlejuice, Mean Girls and others, but if I know it's in the pipeline I will try and hang back. However, this show has been on my list to see since it announced that it was in the UK now. It was in London, and I have to say that I was one of those people who on the day of the show that I chose to see, I literally looked on my phone in the morning. I tried for Rush. That was never going to happen, so I did what any self-respecting theatre lover would do and see what tickets were left, if they were reasonably priced, and just bought a ticket anyway, paying basically double the price of what I would have paid with Rush. But I was like, I am not in the mood to see something that's going to make me cry. I need to see something happy. Side note, I did cry in the interval, but that was me and my bad brain thing. Story for a different day. This show, Mean Girls, is obviously a reincarnation, if you will, of the 2004 film, which when I read it was 2004 when that film came out, that kind of hurt my soul because that meant I was 14. That's sad, but again, it's been around for a long time and it is one of those cult classics. The one thing though of having a film that you enjoy turned into a musical is how you will watch it and how it will be perceived. I was a little bit apprehensive seeing it in the UK after knowing the Broadway cast recording like the back of my hand, but I feel like I didn't need to be. The book of this show is written by Tina Fey. Everyone knows who Tina Fey is, and she has done some great things and kept all the parts that you know and love, and then also sprinkled in a little bit of musical joy and fun. The music itself is written by Jeff Richmond and the lyrics are by Nell Benjamin. It is such a fun show to go and watch. The music in it is good. Now I know that the not problem but the thing that people had with this show is that people like me who have seen or who have heard, should I say, the original broadcast recording like 10 million times. There are some songs in the Broadway cast recording that don't exist in London. Some of the songs have been kind of amalgamated, and also there have been a few lyric changes. So the song list is here. There is a Stupid in Love reprise, which doesn't exist on the OBC. Look at me. Other changes include the removal, if you will, of Fearless, but also, more guttingly, the removal of Stop in Act 1. When I say that that is one of my most listened to songs on the Broadway versions just gutted me slightly when I saw the list. I was like, there is no stop. That hurts. Also, sticking with Act 1, the changing of lyrics in Meet the Plastics. They're not massive ones, and things like my name is Regina George is there. However, they've changed some of Gretchen's lyrics, and it makes me a little bit sad. There, I said it. I will get used to it, but the fact they took it away makes me a little bit sad. And the final change, if you will, with the London one is that they have introduced a new song. I'm not sure if it's new or if it's just was added at a later date, and the only songs I know are because of the original Broadway cast recording. I feel like I don't need to say that every single time, but anyway, is that they have introduced a song by the name of I'm Blowing Up. It wasn't my favourite. Maybe with more listens and more visits to see Mean Girls, because I assume that I probably will return, spoiler alert, but it was just not my favourite. There we go, I moved on. Safe to say, if you're a fan of the film, then everything that I've talked about so far, the book, the music, the lyrics, you'll be fine. But I did just want to stick in there that there are some changes that I feel like everyone knows about now, because this show has been out of previews for about 3 or 4 weeks by the time this video goes up. That, yeah, everyone knows, but we're going with it anyway. Sticking with the creative side, this show is directed by Casey Nicholaw. It is a fun show. There are some great movements and such. Casey's also the person behind the choreography, and I just enjoyed the way that it was all done. So thumbs up there. I didn't know how to finish that sentence, so moving on. Also creatively, we have scenic design, which is done by Scott Pask. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that surname correctly, but if you saw my last video, you will know that I talked about the screens a little bit. Let's just go back to that one. It is quite screen heavy in relation to the stage. There are other things brought in, but the scenic design, like I said, by Scott, and also the video design, which has been done by Finn Ross and Adam Young, are working effortlessly together to create something. But because of the use of screens, it is quite in your face. As I mentioned again in my last video, the screens aren't bright, but they are there. You can't miss them, you can't avoid them. They are very cleverly used, and I enjoyed that aspect, but it is something to be aware of. Finally, in relation to the creative side, we have the costume, which is by Katrina Lindsay. I again really enjoyed looking at the costumes. I've obviously seen clips of the Broadway version over the years, and so there are some costumes that I was excited to see. Some of them are different. For example, Janice's ensembles are different, shall we say, alternative, that's a better word. She says in the bright pink jumpsuits, but I enjoyed looking at them. But the Janice costumes, some of them weren't my favourite, but that again is a personal preference. Finally, just wanted to drop in the hair design, which has been done by Josh Marquette. Again, some interesting choices, but basically just all really nice. Loved it. Moving on, let's get into the cast because this video is getting quite long. let's start off with Katie, the lead character, if you will, who is played by Charlie Byrne. She was such a great leading actor. I enjoyed watching her, I enjoyed listening to her. As I said, quite a fan of the Broadway version, and she did definitely give me Erica vibes, which isn't a bad thing, but it wasn't like she was trying to be Erica, but it was nice to have that kind of vocal still to keep it kind of homey to me, because I know the Broadway cast recording quite well. Moving on to the plastics, we have Regina, Gretchen and Karen, played by Georgina Castle, Eleanor Giassi and Grace Mowat. I have to say that I was wondering how the plastics were going to go. When we were unaware who the cast was going to be, I was like, okay, who are they going to put in as these people, because they are an iconic trio. May I say even more iconic than Heather's. Don't come at me, Heather's fan, it's just how I feel. But I really enjoyed all three people as their plastic. That made no sense, but we're sticking with it. Georgina had the pipes to go with the big songs that they needed to be done with. Elena was just really stunning to listen to, stunning to watch. Great Gretchen, and also Grace I knew would be an excellent Karen. The moment that she stepped on stage, I was like, yes, sorted. And again, I really enjoyed watching her portray this character. Obviously they are still kind of new to their roles, having only really been with them for about 2 months, maybe more, because obviously rehearsals, but that's a different story. And it's nice to see them kind of settle into those people. Aaron Samuels is played by Daniel Bravo, and again I enjoyed watching him. There was less Aaron on the stage than I thought there would be. I was expecting him to be on more, and I don't know why, but he was enjoyable to watch as Aaron. The two stars of my show, however, are Janice and Damien, played by Eleanor Skye and Tom Zander. I loved them as a duo. They are my favourite people in the whole wide world. I feel like Tom Zander was like made to play Damien. Absolutely hilarious to watch. I really enjoyed their chemistry together. I have seen Elena in things in the past, and I feel like this is just, again, a perfect role for her, an excellent one to see her in, and hopefully this will bring more people to the world of me who thinks that she's an absolute star. The whole cast is. I just love them. Last few mentions, we have Akko Mitchell, who is Mr. Duval. I really enjoy Akko as an actor. I've seen him in a few things over the years, first of which I think was in Caroline or Change. I could be wrong, might have been The Colour Purple, but those two roles just cemented my love for that person and I really enjoyed seeing him on the stage. Again, like Daniel Lazarin, I feel like there could have been more Mr. Duval, but that's a personal preference thing. And then finally, we have Zoe Rainey, who plays Miss Heron, Miss Norbury, and also Mrs. George. It's like Mrs. Regina? No, Mrs. George. 3 different people played by one incredible actor. I haven't seen Zoe in so long. I last saw her on stage in An American in Paris, and I just love Zoe's work and the incredibleness of doing those 3 people who are completely different characters but also have a sameness going through them. I just really enjoyed watching alongside the ensemble, who were fun, filled with familiar faces. I kept looking through my programme in the interval. I'm like, I know that person's face, where do I know it from? It was so much fun to look through the programme for them in the interval, and again, absolutely like top notch. I really enjoyed, and their dancing was something special. I'm very excited to see how they all carry on in their roles through the run. So if you can't tell, I quite enjoyed my afternoon out seeing this show. Like I said, it did take me a while to get into because of certain changes, but that is just a personal thing. I like the same in things. I don't like change. And so I will get used to that change. It will just take me a while, and that is okay. But if you want a fun filled afternoon, if you want to go in your most pink outfit, I mean, if I had this when I went to go and see Mean Girls, I would 100% try to rock it, and probably got some looks, but that is okay. If you want something you don't have to think about, it's fun, it's filled with an amazing cast, the writing in it is top notch. If you are at all a fan of the 2004 film, or even the recent version that was a film, that wasn't the best use of English, but I've had a long day, then please go and check out Mean Girls. It is definitely worth a watch in my eyes. But there we go. I'm going to leave you alone. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you come back next time for more theatre content. But there we are. All that's left to say is so long, farewell, and auf Wiedersehen, adieu. Bye bye.